Other Victor Frost speaking to you, anarchist artist. Okay, this video is going out to other volunteerists and anarchists. Not that I want to exclude anybody else that might be listening in. Very well, you may join the conversation. Send me your thoughts. But there is something in particular I do want to say to other philosophically inclined anarchist volunteerists. That is, there are a lot of us who are on a campaign, so to speak. There are those who are using the internet and alternative media to communicate a message that they regard as very important, particularly in the 20th century at the historical crossroads that we are at today. I think anybody that is educated, or whether that be a formal education or simply self-educated, and in the area of ethics, philosophy, economics, politics, those who are aware, have a certain amount of intellectual curiosity enough to know that the state in its current incarnation, speaking of the American government for the time being, is absolutely reprehensible. What these people are doing, they're sociopaths, they're criminals. The destruction of the dollar, there is going to be an economic collapse. The dollar at current has lost 98% of its purchasing value, and it's all puffed up by fiat money, printed toilet paper that is not backed up by anything, backed up by gold, not backed up by silver, not even a sack of potatoes, any type of commodity goods. So people who are educated know this. They know the calamity that's coming around the corner. They know the social upheavals that's going to take place. It's just escalating. It's going to get worse. It's going to get worse, and all the propaganda, the mainstream media, to the contrary, with the constructed debates of dealing with the issues, and there's an economic recovery. It's getting worse right now, but there's going to be a recovery, and blah 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 blah. I mean, there's a lot of people, small government advocate, minarchists, anarchists, know that this is just a lot of horse shit and bullshit, and that the worst is yet to come, all courtesy of this phenomena called the state. Now, in trying to educate other people, whether you be just a person who's not necessarily using the internet, but you're just within your circle of people, you're outspoken on these issues, and you're trying to make an appeal to reason with certain people in your life, whether they be family or friends, to educate them not only on the immediate financial calamities, but just the nature of the state as well, and whatever type of approach that you take with these people, whether trying to tell them the evils of statism that's inherent within having a monopolization on coercion and of state predations in general throughout all of history, or just something that's more specific and narrow to the current calamities taking place with our current leaders who are in power, and or just bring things dating back to 2008, as Christopher Green likes to do. He pretends that his platform is dealing with the calamity since 2008, with the election of George W. Bush, and then it went on from there to Obama, and oh my, the government's been hijacked. So all of this focuses on narrow specifics of what's taking place within that framework. That's all good. That's all well and good, to educate people on the ugly nitty-gritty details of within that narrow specific framework is all well and good, whereas the anarchist likes to step back and take a look at the bigger picture and not just stare at the bark of wood that some anarchists can be accused of, but to take a larger look and ask the questions: what is the state? And statism throughout its entire history, and how it's fared with humanity, if it's been a predominantly beneficial force, or if it's just been a bloody catastrophe for all the time since its incarnation, dating back 6,000 years ago. So, but there's one type of person that you truly just gotta, there's no really nice way to say this, though. But for the for the willfully ignorant, the unprincipled, anti-philosophical type of person that you might spend a great deal of time and energy trying to educate, but you just keep on bouncing your head up against the wall, and you just don't. You're like a gambler who just, you know, the anarchist can be like the gambler who doesn't know when to walk away from the table. You know, he's betting his kids' college money now at the table, right, and losing everything. He just doesn't know when to back away and give up. So they're always rolling the dice, trying to talk to these people, the willfully ignorant. And one of the ways to tell about willfully ignorant to anti-intellectual philosophical people is that is not necessarily to ask them, well, have you read anything by Murray Rothbard, by Ayn Rand, or Hayek? Anything like Economics 101 or Doug Casey or anything, or do you have any study in philosophy whatsoever, or politics? You know, and it's like, and if the answer is no, well, I mean, that gives you a big tip off, though. But if they're not even aware of things like the NDAA or the state of the dollar where it's at current, if they have absolutely no knowledge whatsoever, and they're just they purposely avoid informing themselves. I mean, that's just their modus operandi, is just to block everything out of what's happening in the world, and just to where they just want to stick into their little narrow perimeters of television, taking a shit, television, a video game, taking a shit, showers, and wolfing down a meal, having a beer. Well, you're just, and if you're trying to alert that person and awaken that person, that type of person, you're just causing yourself a lot of aggravation. You just got to walk away. You just got to walk away from those people. I mean, they might be the reason why you might be motivated to try to educate these people and bring enlightenment to them. And no matter how many times that they hurt your feelings, tear you down, mock you, jeer you, you're still in there like a gambler trying to alert them. And the reason why you would do that, I suppose, is because this person means something to you. They're a friend, beloved friend, or a family member. They might be good people within a certain perimeters in your interactions with them. You know, they might tell a really wicked story and make you laugh. They might cook up a mean motherfucking barbecue, offer you a couple of beers. They helped you move the other day, and they loaned you some money. You know, all around they're pretty decent, good people. And so it's from that kind of platform of understanding these people that you try to educate them what you consider to be, what you know to be, a very crucial fundamental age that we're living in. We are at a historical crossroads, and people have to be alerted as to what the fuck is going down and what's going to happen to the dollar. That's going to have a profound effect on all of our lives. And if you just keep on if you just keep on bashing your head up against mocking, jeering, and criticisms and barbed wire type of humor, seriously, I mean, if that's just been a repeated continuum experience with these type of people, you just got to walk away. You just got to walk away. You got to leave them. You got to let them fall through the cracks, people. They have to learn. They said sometimes to help a person to be aware of his, let's say, a drinking habit and things like that, is to allow them to fall on the curb and bust a tooth. Okay, it's just like. You know, if you can't appeal, you can't reason with the unreasonable. There's just at a certain point you have to realize that that you don't have the same chance of talking to, let's say, a minarchist who's at least educated as to what the current matters are all about, and where there's a common intellectual curiosity and a sum of knowledge that a minarchist could have. But dealing with just the willfully ignorant statist type, a completely anti-intellectual philosophical type. You just got to walk away from those people. Don't aggravate yourself. Okay, this is I'm trying to extort this this lesson to you. This suggestion, this idea that don't cast your pearls before swine. Don't exhaust your spirit. It just diminishes you. Okay, it just tears out a love for life almost dealing with these people. So you just got to walk away. That's my advice. It's Victor Pross, anarchist artist, Pop Goes the Culture.